Hi, this is Jennifer Irwin with Jennifer Life Coaching, and I am here on a Wednesday to do a meditation. So, this meditation's topic is about acceptance. So, we're going to be talking about how to allow and accept how we are, how our lives are, just as they are. So, I am practicing this today because I'm coming to you on Wednesday. And I normally do things on Mondays. It's a meditation Monday and it's Wednesday. So I'm going to be practicing very much alongside you the fact that it is Wednesday and not Monday, and that I'm in Colorado right now, so I'm accepting that it is snowing outside, even though it's still summer technically. So lots of things to embrace and hold and accept with this meditation. So I'm glad you're here. I'm going to start with a quote. It's one of my favorites. It's by Carl Rogers, and I've got it written down here, so I'm going to read it just to make sure that I don't mess it up. So he says, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." So I love this quote because it does feel like a paradox inside of me. It just rings true. I have a lot of resonance with it of knowing, I know up here that when I accept myself and my life and what's happening, just accept it, to practice true acceptance, that gives me the foundation and the power and the clarity to actually change and make things shift. So that energy of acceptance is what I'm talking about today. So to me, it is a tricky thing to talk about acceptance because there's kind of ways that we can go about it that can actually leave us feeling more powerless. So we can say, I can accept this is the way it is and there's nothing I can do about it. That's like going into apathy, right? It's like that first layer of acceptance of like, this is the way things are, and then a thought of, I can't do anything about it, or what am I to do, or whatever, just totally there. Or kind of in this other place of not accepting it at all, or saying like, yeah, that might be, but but I need to change it. It has to shift. It has to move forward. I don't like it the way that it is, and kind of going down that track. So we're going to kind of stay in the middle, because for me, acceptance it runs parallel to mindfulness practice. So we're really looking at things clearly and saying, yes, this is the way things are. This is the way that I am right now. This is the way that I feel. This is what I want. And we're not going to take action during the acceptance practice, but if we really get to this allowing and accepting place, we often see what the next steps are, or we get the insight, or we're clear-headed as we move forward. So I like to think about injustice in the world. Well, I don't like to think about it. What I'm saying is I want to use it as an example. So when you think about injustices in the world, acceptance and allowing it to be the way that it is just to say, this is true. There is injustice in the world right now. And there's no thought about whether it's right or wrong at this moment, or that you can't do anything about it. We're just kind of stripping away all the judgments, and we're just accepting it, and we're accepting how we feel about it, and we're just being with what is. And I think to me that's really what acceptance is about, is like allowing enough space inside yourself to just let it be there without trying to fix it or change it or push it away or deny that it's there. So we're just holding it, right? And acceptance to me doesn't mean that you then don't take action. But if you get clear, if you're notice, you practice acceptance around injustice. You say, okay, injustice happens in the world. I feel angry, I feel sad, I feel all these things, and you allow them all to be with a loving presence inside your body. Then when you go out into the world to do your work, whatever that is, so whether you're writing a charity check, or you're campaigning for something, or you're volunteering, whatever it is, then you're coming from this place of fully embodying and holding a lot of care and acceptance for what happens inside of you, And I really believe that then your change that you're making in the world is like 10 times more powerful. So that happens for me when I try and change something about myself. I spend a lot of energy initially trying to fight it or trying to maneuver around it, or, I don't want to sit with it if it's something that I want to change about myself. But as soon as I sit down and really practice allowing it and accepting it just as it is, and processing whatever feelings come up around my sense of what is, there is more energy that's there to be put forward into that change or into that work that I have left, because I'm not spending energy fighting it or trying to fix it. I've already done the work of really kind of allowing it and accepting it to be inside of me as it is, So it's a very present moment kind of work, and I just want to highlight that it's not a passive thing. It's a really active kind of welcoming in just things as they are, and knowing that you're sturdy enough in this present moment to allow and accept it to be however it wants to show up. And you can be this loving, witnessing presence of saying, yes, I accept my anger, I accept joy, I accept taking in the gifts. So I'm going to do about a 7-minute meditation, and it's going to be pretty simple. I do want us to imagine that we're in a safe space. So whatever place that is for you, I want us to kind of make sure that you feel pretty secure in this moment and that you feel resourced enough to kind of go here, because I think that's another thing, is that we need to feel resourced in order to kind of go to this place of acceptance and allowing, because sometimes if we've not been doing this, it can feel really heavy. So we're going to find that kind of quiet space, and we're going to keep coming back to our breath as kind of the anchor. And whatever arises for you in this moment, we're just going to greet it, like imagining that it's coming up to you, like you're in this safe space, and this thing, this emotion, this thought, this desire, whatever arises in you, you're just going to kind of meet it and saying, I accept that you're here. So that's all we're doing. We're just, whatever arises in our minds, we're just going to allow it to be there and accept that it's there. And notice if you feel the urge to push it away or deny it or try and change it or modify it in some way, just see if you can return to your breath for a moment and then just let it show up just as it is. Okay. All right, we're going to start with some grounding breaths. This is really helpful for me, and it's a practice that I encourage others to do to really ground and kind of widen out your sense of self so that you have enough of that spacious container to hold whatever arises, to practice that acceptance. So on these first initial breaths, we're going to pretend like we have roots kind of growing down our spine. So with the breath in, we're going to root down. And on the exhale, we're going to really expand out. We're going to do this 3 times. And then we're just going to, with a couple guidance from me, just really kind of be present and notice and allow and accept whatever arises to arise. Okay, so breathing in, we're going to get rooted. Imagine that trunk of the tree going down your spine, getting really rooted. And exhaling, imagining that yourself is as wide as the ocean or a lake or the sky. Breathing in, getting rooted. Exhaling, imagine that spaciousness. See if you can feel it in your body. As your breath goes out, see if you can go out too. Breathing in, grounding and rooting down. And exhaling, expanding out. So for this part, I just want us to sit kind of in a traditional mindfulness practice of just kind of witnessing whatever arises and seeing if you can create a safe space around you where imagining that whatever comes up to you, a thought, a feeling, a sensation, just seeing if you can accept it. We're just going to do this for a couple moments. Just kind of allowing it, accepting it. You can put your hands out if that helps you. Just really saying, yes, I see you, I accept that you're here. I accept the way that you are showing up. Okay? Ready? So maybe you have body sensations that are coming up, and just say, yes, I accept my toe hurts, or I allow and accept my knee to itch. Just see if you can name that. It's okay if you don't feel a certain way around it. Just see if you can practice naming it, trying to move into that space. And see whatever feelings might come up. Just see if you can name and really allow and accept them to be there just as they are. And if you feel any resistance to how things are, just name and allow that too. I find that when I practice, resistance kind of lives in the corner of my safe space. That pops in quite a bit. And it's been my work to just allow her to be there. Just welcoming her and saying, yeah, I see you. And I accept that my resistance is here. Allowing your breath to be as it is, allowing your body, your feelings, your thoughts. Really seeing if just for this moment you can allow them to be just as they are. And any resistance to that being the way that it is, to allow that to be there too. We're just holding space. So we're going to pull this meditation to a close, and we're going to take a couple breaths together just to close your space that you created to practice acceptance. Offer yourself gratitude for sitting down and practicing, a skill that we're not often taught. And we're just going to end on 3 deep inhales and exhales. Breathing in, letting go. Breathing in, letting go. Breathing in, letting it go. Thank you for joining me on this practice of acceptance and allowing. And I love talking about all the nuances of this. So if you have some insights or thoughts on this practice of accepting things as they are without moving into apathy or totally skipping over acceptance and really just trying to go to the change process, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to put it in the comments below. And hopefully I'll see you next Monday. Okay, until then, much peace and care.